In today's tutorial, let's learn how to do a winter blizzard snowflake Afghan. It's designed by Dan and it's just for you. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on Dan's Afghan. And this is called the Winter Blizzard Snowflake Afghan, and this is really cool. It's a design by him and it is absolutely going viral online, so this is the matching tutorial in order to make it. This is going to be an extensive tutorial as I show you how to do each of the steps step by step as we go throughout this project. It's really not that hard. It's just a matter of just repeating your steps, and I'll give you some tips, and let's get started on that next. The pattern is completely free, called the Winter Blizzard Snowflake Afghan. I've taken out the photos here so I can simplify it for myself as I teach you, and it has everything step by step from the tips, including a lot of photography that has been labeled up to give you ideas on what you need to do. Now for the one that Daniel had done, it was 55 inches wide by 60 inches long. It was consisting of 19 motifs, and then basically we did a join as you go, so you don't have to sew in this. There's a total of 4 different colors, and we went all the way from the white to sky to peacock to navy, all in the Bernat Super Value line, using a 5.5mm size AI crochet hook in order to do this. And basically it's really quite simple. So let's get you started off on the right track. So what I want you to do is work on this particular motif Afghan just like it's an assembly line. So I want you to do all of the white first. So get all of your motifs done and you'll have all of these. Okay, and so once you get that done, I want you to start grabbing them back and then doing all the light blue, and do all the light blues for all of your motifs. Then do up the darker blue, and then finally move into the navy and then doing the outside. If you work on this like an assembly line, you can go a lot faster because it's not as hard to do all of the steps step by step when you're doing it like an assembly line versus having to read the instructions from start to finish and then remembering what you did back over here. So this is a great tip, and that's what I would do to get started. So let's do the first one first, and we're going to do all the white section first, and then we're going to move to the next color, and then so on to get one motif done, and then I'll leave it for you to do that. And then I'm going to show you how to do the joining border, and then we're going to show you how to do the final border as well around the entire Afghan. So let's get started on this first, and let's go to our instructions and let's begin. So let's begin to do a slip knot. I'm using actually just the color white in the Bernat Super Value line at 5.5mm size I crochet hook today. I'm going to start off with the slip knot, and I want you to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and I want you to insert your hook into the beginning chain like so, yarn over and pull through everything, and then you end up with the center ring that is around in the center of the motif. Let's start on round number 1. So we're going to start off simply by chaining 1 first, and then we're going to put 12 single crochets inside the center of this ring. Catch this straggler as if it's part of the ring so that it gets stuck underneath. So let's do this. So single crochet for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now I'm running out of space, so because it's on the ring, so just shift it, just kind of pull on it and more will expose. So this will be 10, 11, and 12. It is really key that you have all your stitches there, so make sure you count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and then just join it to the beginning single crochet that you started with. Okay, and that concludes that round. And so because we have buried this in, this is the starting straggler. Just grab your scissors, cut that out, and then nobody will ever see that it's there, including yourself. And let's move on to round number 2. Okay, so let's move on to round number 2. In this one we're going to start developing the sides. There's 6 sides. It is a hexagonal. So let's begin to do this. So we're going to chain 1 first, and in the same stitch that you joined, I want you to put in a single crochet there. Okay, now I want you to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, going into the next stitch available to you in single crochet. Okay, now here's the repeat pattern. The next stitch is going to be a single crochet, and then chain 5 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and come into the next stitch for a single crochet. Okay, so let's review that one more time. So the repeat pattern is single crochet in the next stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then single crochet into the next stitch. And that will give you a total of 6 of these loops by the time you go all the way around. So please do that, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. When you get all the way back around, you will have a total of 6 loops, and you just have to slip stitch to the beginning single crochet, and that'll bring everything around for you. And so make sure you do have your 6 at this point. So let's move on to round number 3. So for round number 3, we're gonna play within these loops area. So what we want to do to start, we're gonna chain 1, and we're gonna come to the first loop, and we're going to single crochet first into that loop, followed by a chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to double crochet into the same loop, followed by a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and single crochet back into that same loop. So each loop will have a single crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, single crochet. Once you get one loop done, you're going to chain 2 so you can jump to the next loop. So let's review that one more time. So we're gonna single crochet first, followed by a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet into that same loop, followed by a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then single crochet in that same loop. So once you get that loop done, chain 2 and do it again. So continue to do that all the way around. So I'm coming up all the way back around. I've got all my loops done. I'm just simply, don't forget to chain 2 first, and then you just join it to the beginning single crochet that you started off with, and that will conclude off round number 3. Just like there. So let's move on to round number 4. Begin round number 4. We're simply going to start off by chaining 1 first. So what we're going to be doing is playing within this chain space. There's a double crochet here, and then there's a chain space here, and then there's the chain 2 space that are in between the loops. So let's begin to do number 4. So we've already chained up 1. So now we're going to put in 4 single crochets into the first chain 3 space. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, followed by a chain 2, 1 and 2, and then come on to the other side of that and put in 4 on that side, 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And once you get that 4 in there, all you just need to do then is that you just reach down to this chain 2 space, this is in between the loops, and just do 1 single crochet only. So that stabilizes that whole loop. So let's begin again. So here's the repeat pattern. So the first chain 3 is going to get 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, followed by a chain 2, 1 and 2, and then 4 single crochets down the other side. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then this chain 2 space that's in between, just 1 single crochet. So continue to do that all the way around. You're gonna start really seeing this come together nicely. So I'm coming up all the way around to the final loop, and I'm putting in my 4 singles into the last chain 3 space. And here's what I want you to do different. So we're not gonna slip stitch this time to the beginning. We're just gonna stop. We're gonna put 1 single crochet in the middle here, and technically we normally would join with the slip stitch, but we don't want to. We want to start exactly where we are right now, and this will then kick us on to round number 5. So we're almost done this white at this moment, so just bear with us, and we're gonna keep on going. Let's do round number 5 next. Let's begin round number 5. So the instructions say chain 6, which counts as a double crochet plus chain 3. So if double crochet is normally chaining of 3, so if it's chaining of 6, it's a double crochet plus 3. So just think of it like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And what this is basically it's gonna just kind of bend over like this when it gets all stabilized. So we're gonna come to the 2 single crochets in the next chain 2 space. So the chain 2 space is right in the top of the loop, and we're gonna put 2 single crochets there. So here's the repeat pattern for the remainder of this. So we're gonna just chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna put 1 double crochet. Now it says to go to the 5th single crochet if you count it, but the reality is that I have to say that in the pattern just so that you can be very clear, but it's actually the single crochet that's sitting in this chain 2 space. So you can just look for that, and that's 1 double crochet there, followed by a chaining of 3, 1, 2, 3, and come to the next top of the next loop and 2 single crochets. I'm gonna repeat this one more time. So your repeat pattern is chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet into the single crochet that's in between, or it's the 5th one over, whichever you prefer, and then chain 3 and then 2 single crochets in the next top. So continue to do that all the way around. That's number 5. So I'm coming up all the way around. This is the chain 6 that we started with, which is important. So I'm at the top of the last loop. Don't forget you have to chain 3 first, and we have to join it then to the 3rd chain up. So 1, 2 and 3, join it with the slip stitch. Okay, so I told you it was gonna kind of bend over that first chaining, and it does. Do you see that? That's what's happening here. So that concludes off number 5, and number 6 is the next, and it's the final for the white, and then the Jacob's ladder is actually gonna start on this round as well. So let's move on to number 6. So in round number 6 we're gonna start the Jacob's ladder, and the Jacob's ladder starts off differently than it does for the remainder of the pattern. Okay, so we have to do it this way first to stabilize it, and then it just is very easy the next few rounds after this. So let's begin. We're going to chain up 1, and we're gonna put in 4 single crochets in this chain 3 space, the next one. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and it says to do 2 double crochets into the next single crochet. So the next, there's 2 here, it's the first one is gonna get 2 double crochets, and this is creating the bend in the corner as well. So now it says we're gonna do the Jacob's ladder, and this is the only time you're gonna do it like this. So here we go. We're gonna chain 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now what you want to do is come into the very first chain and just insert your hook in, yarn over and pull through and through, and this will create a loop on your work that you need. So now we're going to then continue around. So the next single crochet is gonna be 2 double crochets. So if you can think about it, every point now is going to have 2 double crochets to start. You'll have a Jacob's ladder loop, and then 2 double crochets on the other side. So the next chain 3 space we are going to put in 4 singles. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we are going to then come in and we're going to skip over this stitch, the double crochet, and just immediately going to do a picot instead. So let me show you how to do that. So to do picot we are going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we're going to insert into the first chain, yarn over and through, and I'm gonna show you how to do another one of these sides. So then we continue then to the other side of the next chain 3 space and put in 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So let me show you how to do the next rounds once again. So we're at the next point here and we want to create a corner. So we're gonna put in 2 double crochets to start into the first single crochet, and then we're going to do a Jacob's ladder loop. So to do that is chaining a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Coming into the very first chain, insert in, yarn over and through, and now you have your loop, and now double crochet into the next single crochet 2 times. So 1 and 2. So the next chain 3 space is going to have 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, followed by a picot. So 1, 2 and 3, and I believe it's 4. No, it's 3, and then we're going to come into the first one and pull through and through to create it, and then 4 single crochets into the next chain 3 space, and that'll take you to the next corner. So I want you to do this same configuration going all the way around, and you'll end up with 6 loops all together that will look like this. So continue that and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So I'm coming up all the way back around. I have my 4 single crochets on this side. This side is still empty, so I just have to do that, and we have to put in 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Do not forget that you still have to do the picot. So 1, 2 and 3. Do a picot and then just join this with the slip stitch to the beginning single crochet. That's it for the white. So what I want you to do is fasten off the white. We're now done with it, and I think this is the most complicated part of the whole thing. Everything else is now gonna get a lot more easier. If you want to use a darning needle, you can secure things in as well, but if you just weave everything underneath, you should be able to keep everything in balance and everything will not fall out on you. But that's a personal choice. That is completely up to you. And let's move on and let's go on to round number 7. Let's begin round number 7. So I'm gonna start off with a slip knot with my yarn first. So there's already been questions because the pattern's already been out for a couple weeks. So the question is, where do you start at this point? And it says with the B, which means the color, slip stitch at any single crochet after a chain 10 loop. So this is a chain 10 loop over here. So what you want to do is that you want to do the first single crochet after this loop. Okay, just like there. So if it does matter which one you choose. So it's got there's only 4 single crochets and it's the first one after a loop. Okay, so let's begin to do that next. So it's the first single crochet after a loop and we want to just join it. Okay, just wrapping around, pulling it through and through. And it says to chain 3. So we're going to do that first. So 1, you notice what I'm doing with the straggler there just to hide it in. So I got 1, 2 and 3. So here's the trick to this pattern, which makes the rest of this very easy, is that you're going to double crochet again into the same stitch that you just did the join with, and it says in the pattern to double crochet over the next 6, skipping over the picot. So there's 3 single crochets left here, there's a picot, and then there's 3 left over here, and then the final single crochet is the final before the next corner. So if you can just think of it like that, it's a lot easier. So we're gonna double crochet the next 3, 1, 2 and 3, just like that, and then you skip over this picot and come into the other side. So just single crochet into the other side of that picot. So 1, 2 and 3, and you have 1 more single crochet left, which is the final before the corner, and you're gonna put 2 double crochets in that spot. So this time we're now going to do the Jacob's ladder, and the Jacob's ladder for the remainder of this particular one as we go around is just simply just chaining up 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And what we want to do is skip right over all of these loop stuff over here, come to the first single crochet on the other side, and I want you to double crochet into that one. Did you notice I don't have to manipulate this at all? We'll worry about that at the end. So you're gonna double crochet in the first single crochet and you're gonna double crochet in that same spot twice. So the reason for this is that this needs to still grow out, so the last stitch is always gonna have a double in there. There's 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So let's review this again. So the next 3 are going to be double crochets, and then you'll hit the picot, which you'll skip over. So now you're just gonna skip over that picot, and then you have the 4 single crochets on this side. The first one, don't forget that. So the first 3 are going to be 1 each. Okay, and the last single crochet, which is next, is going to have 2 double crochets. So it's easy, right? So you just have to remember one side to start is gonna have 2, and the last one is gonna have 2, and there will be there'd be 1 double crochet each in the rest of the stitches. Okay, so let's turn the corner. So we chain 10 for another Jacob's ladder loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, and we just simply jump over everything and go to the first single crochet and put in 2 in there. So continue to do that same thing going all the way around. So I'm coming up all the way around. I still have to do my Jacob's ladder loop to finish off the round. So we're just gonna chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I want to join it to the top of the beginning chain 3. That's it. So this color is completely done for this motif, and we will not see this color again until we get to the final border that circles the entire Afghan. So this is what we have to just do. Finish it off, weave in your ends, and then we're going to move on to the next color. Now it's going to get more simpler as we go on, and you can go as big as you want to on these particular designs at this point. Like if you really wanted to do a huge motif that is like even up to an Afghan size of just this being the center, you can actually physically do that from this point going forward. So let me show you how to start the next round, and this will be round number 8. Let's move on to round number 8. Let's start off with a slip knot. Now rounds number 8 and 9 are identical to each other, just so that you're aware. So you can just start off any one, and it says after the chain 10 loop, and it's one of these double crochets. It's the first double crochet after a loop. It doesn't matter which one you choose. So just go into the top of one that's just after the chain 10, fasten on your yarn. And so this round we don't need to worry about that picot anymore. We don't have to worry about that, and we want to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and we want to double crochet back into that same starting point, so the same stitch. So we're gonna just double crochet ourselves across, and then the very last one there's going to be 2 double crochets in the final. So every side will have 2 that starts a side, and there will be 1 double crochet in each along each side, and then the final one will have 2. So let me just keep doing this. And you're thinking to yourself, where is the Jacob's ladder coming in? In fact, you just gotta trust it. It's not ready to be woven in yet, and that's why we haven't done it. So the very last one here will be 2 double crochets, and then we do our chain 10 loop again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then just jump to the first double crochet on the other side of that loop and put in 2 double crochets into that first one. So 1 and 2, and then just double crochet yourself in each one going all the way, and then the final one will have 2, and then jump over again. So please do that, and this is round number 8. I'm coming up all the way back around, and I'm just about to jump the loop. Make sure that you do have your 2 doubles in the same one before jumping the final loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and just go over and just join it to the top of the chain 3 that you started with, and just cut your yarn, weave in your ends, and we're gonna move up to round number 9 next. Okay, round number 9 is identical to the last round we just did. We're just switching our color to navy, and again it's just a matter of looking for the chain 10 loop and just looking for the first double crochet. It doesn't matter which one. Everything looks disorganized right now. This is the final time that you're going to do this. Make sure that I am on the right side here. So let's begin. I'm gonna go into the first double crochet that's available after a chain 10 loop and join, and I want to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Double crochet again into that same spot. Okay, so you have your 2 to begin, and then just 1 single crochet or 1 double crochet across until you get to the final stitch, and you're gonna put in 2 double crochets on the other side to keep this in balance. So when you get to all the way around, we're not gonna fasten off this yarn, so please don't do that. And we're going to start the Jacob's ladder weaving in right after this round, and I'll show you how to do that. So here's the stitch right before the chain 10 loop. We want to put in 2 double crochets into that same loop or same stitch. Chain 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and come and jump over all the way over, go into the first one for 2 double crochets, and continue to do the same thing all the way around. Okay, so that's pretty easy for this one. This is round number 9, and then it's really gonna get fun right after this. So I'm coming up all the way back around. I've got my 2 double crochets in the final. Let's chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, and let's just join to the beginning then top of the chain 3. So do not fasten off at this time, leave on your blue, but the next round what we're going to do is that we're going to start weaving in all of these to make the Jacob's ladder, and then the next round we're going to secure it. So just pull up a large loop at this time, take out your hook, and let me show you how to weave in these so that they can be really cool. So let's do that next. So to weave in the rounds, what we need to do is that we need to start weaving them in so they look like they're tied together. Let me show you an example on the other one here that we have already for you. So this is what it's gonna look like. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. So it's gonna pull everything together. So what you have to do is that you have to look at the white and pull it forward. Okay, now grab the blue and put it through the bottom side and pull up. Now grab the next color, which is the darker blue, which is the peacock blue, pull it through the blue loop, and then take the final color and pull it through the peacock loop. And you can just want to pull snug on it, okay, and you just want to leave it. So just be very gentle and just work your way around. So let me show you again. Bring your white loop forward, okay, bring the next color through the bottom of it, okay, through the bottom, through the top. Okay, just in the next blue, through the bottom, through going to the top, and then the next blue, bottom to the top. I'll show you again. These are kind of fun. So we're gonna bring the white forward. Okay, put the next blue through. Put the peacock through that blue one, and the navy through the peacock. Okay, let's do it again. So the white, the blues through the bottom side coming up. Okay, the peacock is next. So you want to make sure you keep them in order, and then the blue. Okay, continue to move around. So blue through. I kind of really like doing this, so it's always a disappointment when you get to the end, but you have all your motifs to do, so you don't have to worry about it too much. So the white, the blue, next blue, and blue. So now all of your sides are now already done, but they're all gonna fall out, so you have to be very gentle at this point, and what we want to do is the next round we're gonna secure this one in so it's permanently locked into position. Let's do that next. So let's begin again. So we're just keeping this so I'm not jumping it all around so none of this kind of folds out. If it does fall out, it's not a big deal. You just don't really want to because it's kind of going to waste your time. So we're going to start off by chaining 3. So 1, 2, 3, and this is going to be exactly what you've already done before, but this time you're going to lock your loops in a position. So you're going to double crochet into the same double crochet that you just came out of, and then you're gonna put 1 double crochet in each of the next all the way to the next corner. I know that this is harder to see on the camera, but it's exactly what you've already done with all the blue colors that you see below it. So this blue is creating a backdrop for the next round, which is going to be a drop down round of spikes, which creates that icicle look that Daniel has designed. So the very last stitch of this side is going to get 2 double crochets like you did before. So we have to continue to grow it out properly so that it will sit flat when it lays down. So the very final stitch here is going to get 2 double crochets. So here's the trick. To lock this in, make sure the loop is pulled forward. So you got your loops in. Okay, you are going to chain 1, single crochet into the blue loop, and chain 1. So now it's locked. So now you're just gonna jump into the next double crochet over here. The first one will get 2 double crochets. So 1 and 2. Okay, and you just double crochet yourself across. I will do that one more time. So just 1 double crochet across. So that's how those loops stay in a position that you are single crocheting around into the center of the loop. So that loop cannot fall out. Okay, and I'm looking for that very last stitch, which is right there. There'll be 2 double crochets into that one. Okay, just make sure that loop is pulled through. It does come out, and chain 1 first, go into the center of the loop, single crochet, chain 1, and then jump to the opposite side on the first double crochet. We'll get 2. So continue to do that all the way around, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So I'm coming up all the way back around, and this is the last time we'll be using the navy until we'll get back to the border, the main border around the whole thing. And make sure you get your 2 in there in your final here, and then just make sure that you got your loops. They're pulled in through in order, just like this. Chain 1 first, single crochet around the final into the final loop, chain 1, and then just join to the top of the beginning chain 3. And I need you to fasten off this yarn, and so all of your Jacob's ladder at this point is going to be secured in, and now it's time for the white, and this is when it's gonna get really fun and interesting. The next round is what makes all of this amazing, and these are called half double crochet spikes. So do you see that they look the same? No, they're not. They're just absolutely random. The whole Afghan has been done that this entire round is all randomized. So even when I look at one that I have that I'm gonna be showing up a little later, is that it really is truly random, and you can go down as far as the light blue if you wanted to. What I recommend, and I tried this and I don't have a sample of it anymore, it's really imperative that you go straight down and not do any, especially on this when you get close. If you start going down on an angle, it really throws it out of whack. So if you're going to do the icicles, make sure that they are all facing straight down or in the same direction so that it looks consistent going all the way around. Now let me tell you some more tips about this, and then I will show you what to do next. When doing the spikes, what I realized is that the first 3 stitches should just be regular half double crochets before doing any kind of spikes. And the reason for that is that there's really nothing for it to spike down onto, so it's better that the first 3 stitches remain just a regular half double crochet in order to keep it in balance. And then after that, until you get to the last 3 stitches, you can do anything that you want, and you don't even have to do spikes. If you don't like the spikes, you can just do half double crochet around as well and just ignore that. But it's the spikes that make it interesting, and the spikes appear on both sides, so then you end up having an Afghan that can be turned over without any problems. But it does look different on the back side versus the front, because the braids here are only on the front versus the other side. So let's start off. We're gonna bring our white back, and that is the main color in the middle. That's what makes it neat too, is that we're gonna come to the first chain 1 space. So ignore this loop and just come to a chain 1 space. There's one on both sides of the loop. If you remember, you single crocheted right into the loop, and we're going to attach. It can be any one, it doesn't matter. If you're getting the idea that it doesn't matter because everything is always consistent. So we're gonna join, and we're going to chain 2. So the first one is gonna be a chain 2. So 1 and 2. So this would be considered one of the 3 stitches that you're going to be doing right in the start without doing any kind of spikes. So the next 2 are just gonna be regular half double crochets. Okay. And now we can just start going random. So you can go as far down as you want to, but if you notice at this point you can only go down so far before you'll run into this, because you want to come straight down. But you can come down to here, and you just gotta make sure that you skip the stitch that's on the top that is going to be the same one. So to do this, you have to wrap and then just go into a space. Okay, just right into a space, yarn over from the back side, and you want to pull up generously a loop but not sloppy, so it still has a little bit of tension, and then you want to finish that stitch. So that is considered this skipped one that you just did, and then you can just half double crochet the next one if you wanted to. You can half double crochet the next one. This is all random. So now I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna go way down here this time. So I'm just gonna wrap, going right through the material, coming from the back, and pull up just to stretch it out, and then just yarn over, pull through 3. And then I'm gonna come down and go even further in the next one. Sorry, just one wrap, and I want to come down here and just pull up on it like that. So those are 2 of the stitches on the top, and you just want to keep doing just random stuff all the way. This is what makes it really neat. But there's a trick, and let me tell you that in just a moment. The trick to note to this one is that you should always end up with 18 stitches. So it doesn't matter how many times you go down, there should only be 18. So make sure you count the first one that's in the gap space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And so you should have a total of 18 of these going all the way across at any point. And if you don't have 18, then it means that you've missed a stitch or or something is not quite right. Okay, so 18 is your magic number, and you're just gonna keep going and just doing whatever you want, however you want, as you go all the way across. So that whole counting of 18 makes a lot of sense, because sometimes you think you might be skipping a stitch back in behind it, but you might not be, and then it just gets kind of complicated if you start ending up with extra stitch work. So you can just see I'm just kind of randomly just going down. The more spikes you have, the more interesting it can be. And so the very final stitch, so I have a chain 1 here and I have 2 stitches left, so they should just be regular half double crochets each. So I should be able to count if my stitches are right, and I'm gonna do it on camera, see what happens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, so there should always be 18 there, and this makes a difference because when you go to join them to a neighbor, they need to be consistent. Once you get to a corner, you are then going to chain 2, and you are going to go to the next chain 1 space here and half double crochet that one plus the next 2 to be consistent, and then you can start doing random spikes once again. So that's how you do this particular round, and you'll see that it's gonna be really quite interesting and a lot of fun at the same time. So continue to do that, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So I've now just finished going all the way around. I've already fastened off just because I can, and I've been showing you how to do that. So you're gonna make sure you get to that last half double crochet. You're going to chain 2 and then just slip stitch to the beginning half double crochet, and essentially this is what you have at this point. Okay, so now we have to do one more round, which is the joining round, and I'll show you what to do with that. So here's what a joining round looks like. I've done it in a different color so that it's easier for you to be able to identify your stitches. And essentially what we need to do is that if you look at the corner, see how I've jumped over this chain 2 space over here, and this is a much larger gap. So we're just gonna be looking for those every time we go in that. Okay, so the very first motif you have to do completely all the way around like so, and then after this is that they all start attaching to a neighbor, but you can only attach to a neighbor when the border has already been done. Okay, so we just have to start building, and what we did is that we did all the motifs first and then we did all the joining afterward, because the final rounds basically are quite simple. So we used the same color to do the join just to make it a lot easier, and really it looks really effective. So let me show you how to do this. This is the final round. We're gonna do one completely all the way around on its own, and then the next one I'll show you how to do an attaching, and then we're gonna show you how to do the main border. So with the white again, I'm going to bring it up, and I want to be looking at the braided side, so the Jacob's ladder side. If it's looking like this, it's wrong. Okay, so I want to look at it so it's bulging out towards me. So I want to come to the first single crochet after a chain 2 space, and I want to go, or sorry, first half double crochet after the chain 2 space, and I want to insert my hook and join my yarn there. So I'm going to do a chain 1, which I just did, and then I'm going to single crochet into that same stitch. So the whole pattern for this is quite easy. You just have to pay attention to where the corners are. So we're going to do a chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Skip the next stitch and single crochet into the next. That's all this is. So 1, 2, 3, skip the next stitch, go to the next. So 1, 2, 3. I'll show you what to do all the way into the corner. So 1, 2, and 3. So this is the very first motif that you have to do. You have to go all the way around for the first one, and then they all start joining to this one, and all to the ones that will be joining afterward. So 1, 2, 3. So you cannot just start, you can't do this round on all of them like completely all the way around. You have to only do one, and then they all start attaching to each other, going all the way around. So what I want you to do is that I want you to pay attention to what your stitch counts are, and we have to make sure that there's an equal number of these chain 3 spaces. So we're gonna be into the stitch right before the end, and you need to pay attention that you have 8 of these spaces. So chain 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, and then we're going to the corner. So the corners are going to be chaining a 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we come into the first single crochet on the other side, and then we continue the same patterning. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip over the 1 and then 1, 2, 3, skip over, and you keep doing that. So you're just gonna keep doing that all the way around for this particular motif, and then you'll end up with a really nice kind of border, and now everything is then gonna start attaching to this point here. So do that and I'll meet you back here in just a moment. So I'm coming up all the way back around, and this is the very first motif, and now the rest of them are gonna start joining to this one and all others that have this particular border. Okay, so but we have to start one at a time. So don't forget, we still have to chain 4 and then just join to the beginning single crochet that you started with, and then just fasten off, and that concludes off how to do the first motif. Now all the rest now have to start working in conjunction to this one and any other one that has this border completely done when it's finally being attached to on the Afghan itself. Okay, so please do not do this border for all of your motifs and then think that you can join them afterward. It has to be done at the same time going from this point. So we're gonna start joining all the rest of the motifs starting to this one. So you all have to have this ready to go, and then one has to be already done completely before you can do the joining process. Now to do the joining process, it is so simple, it's not even funny, but we are going to do all the joining quite literally really quite easily within these gapping spaces, and we're gonna substitute our stitches where they are where they're joining to a neighbor. So instead of just chaining 3, what it will be is chain 1, slip stitch to the next one, and then chain 1, and then come back and single crochet, skipping 1 stitch and single crocheting into this into the original. So we just have to think about this just a moment, and then I'll show you how to do this next. So here we go. So we're gonna join to the neighbor. So you're only ever gonna join up to 3 times in one particular sweep. So once you have another one joined here, you could have another one joined up here that is with this one here. So this new one here might join here, here, and here. So that's what we have to watch out for. So but let's start our first one, and I never join on the first row going across. I always wait to the second just to make sure I'm established with the pattern. So what we're going to do is that we're going to join it to the first single crochet, and we're going to do exactly what we already know, and we're going to just do and create those 8 chain spaces. Okay, so we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 1, and then single crochet into the next. So 1, 2, 3, skip the next one, single into the next. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You really got to pay attention to make sure you have 8 of these chain 3 spaces, or you're gonna have trouble when you go to attach them to the neighbors, as there won't be enough chain spaces left if they're not equal to each other. So 1, 2, and 3. So I'm up onto the last stitch, so I believe there should be 8, and if not, something is wrong. Okay, so there's final is in there. Actually, I never got that properly. I only got 1 thread. I got the front loop only. So let me get both. Okay, so let me just verify that. So I should have 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that's good. So what we want to do is that I want to start attaching to the neighbor, and we start attaching to the neighbor right on the corner space itself. So let's get our neighbor up, and we're gonna start joining it to the neighbor on the other side. So on the corners only, it's gonna be chain 2, 1 and 2, and we just get another one that's in the same corner on the other side. Make sure the right sides are facing up, that the braids are facing up towards you, and just make sure you get the same one and just slip stitch. So you just want to match these spaces. So slip stitch, chain 2, and you're gonna come to the first single crochet on the other side. Okay, so this time because we're joining, we're not just doing a chain 3 anymore. We're gonna chain 1 and we go to the other one over here and just slip stitch through and then chain 1 and then jump 1 over here and come to the next. So chain 1, and basically it's really quite easy. You just follow the gap spaces all the way down on both sides. So just slip stitching them together. So this is avoiding the darning needle at this time, which is what most people love. And so you'll do this for all sides where there's a neighbor ready to attach to. So because this is number 2, that I can actually next time I can actually get 2 sides to be attached together. Okay, and we're gonna continue to move all the way down, and sorry, that's not a, that was a half double crochet in that final one. So I want to move all the way down until I get to the chain 4 space on a corner, which is next. So 1, 2, okay, and this is a chain space. So this, single crochet, 1, 2, and then just jump the space on this side. So this is what's happened here this whole time. See, it's joined it. So what I want you to do is that there's nothing more to join to because I don't have any more motifs done. But next time what's gonna happen is that I have here, these borders are done here, so I can add another one right in here and attach it to these 2 at the same time, and I keep building and building and building. So for this one here, I'm just gonna continue to go around as normal. So chain 3, skip the next one, and I'm going to finish it off. And so when there's nothing to join to, you just return back to the chain 3, skipping 1 stitch, single crocheting into the next, and that's how you do these when you're going to join. When we come back, I'm going to just show you how to do the border. The border is pretty simple and it's adjustable for any size Afghan or shape that you want to make it. We've designed it in a way that you can customize it for yourself. Don't forget when you've come all the way back around that you started after a chain 4 space, so make sure you do your chaining of 4 before joining it to the first single crochet that you started with over here. So this fasten off your yarn at this time, and we're gonna start our next border next. But if you are still wanting to do all of these and just continue to attach your motifs as I've already suggested, and we're gonna do the border next because that's the next part of how to go further once you get all of your motifs added together at this point. So it's gonna be very adjustable, and it's gonna be just really quite easy to be able to do, and that's coming up next. So the next part of this tutorial, we're going to review on how to do a border. So you obviously have all of your motifs assembled just the way I showed you now, and so I only have 2 here, and the reason why I can do the border now is that I can show you how to adjust because you can do different configurations on what you want to do. So the first thing I need to explain to you is that the corner that you see down here, this is less than 180 degrees. These corners up here are more than 180. So if you visualize the line going straight across would be 180 degrees, and because it comes down it would be more than 180. And so if you were to do a line here, okay, this is up higher, so then it's less than 180. And so what I want you to do is that when you're working on these, you have to identify what is 180 degrees and what is less and what is more, and then you make the adjustments as you go. So what we want to do is that we want to start off with our first yarn, and I bring back the light. Because it's already got white to start, I go with the light blue. Okay, and what I want to do is that I want to grab the outside of an Afghan, and I want to just start in one of these chain spaces right in here. Okay, so right on the corner itself. And it doesn't matter which one you start with, really. It really doesn't matter. So we're just gonna go right into a chain space, and we're going to just attach to your yarn, and I want you to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and I want you to double crochet 4 more times into that same space. So whenever you're on the outside of the motif, just like so, and it's kind of doing a turn, you're always going to put in 5 double crochets. So in the rules of crochet, the first chaining of 3 counts as a double crochet. So there will be 5 in this one over here, okay, because there's nothing attached. So the ones that are in the middle where they're joining, they're not gonna have this. So each one of these chain spaces that are on in here are all gonna have something unique, and I'll show you what to do next. So when you progress to the first chain space that you run into, you want to put in 2 double crochets. So each one of these chain spaces are gonna be 1 or 2 double crochets each. So just jump immediately to the next. Don't space any, or like don't add any extra stitches. Just continue just to put 2 double crochets in each space. So whenever we either get to a corner where it's more than 180 or to where there's joining to another one, we have to make a decision on what we need to do in order to get around that. And this is what makes the difference of the border following it accurately around, and this is why you can change your configurations when you're just looking and making decisions on the fly on the way that it gets done. So I've now hitting another corner, and I can tell because the Jacob's ladder is right here. So this here, okay, is more than 180 degrees. Okay, so it comes across. There's 180 going straight across, but it's going down, so it's more than 100. So this corner here is gonna get 5 double crochets, and that allows the project border to turn that degrees that you need in order to keep it laying flat. So then you're gonna keep working along to the next space, and there's gonna be 2 double crochets there, and into each one all the way until you have to make the next decision. The next decision is going to be a join between the neighbor, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. So when we did that originally in the design is that I actually added an extra stitch in there in order to keep it from having a really big gap. A lot of people have this phobia of gaps, and it didn't look right, so we added an extra stitch there to make it look better. So you're going to put in 2 double crochets into each, going all the way. So what you want to do is that this is the last gapping space before you see the joining. So you don't want to put anything in these spaces here, but just to the final one that's empty. And all you just need to do is that you need to reach to this particular join. Let me show you how to do that next. So what you have to do for that extra stitch is that we have to do a treble. So we have to wrap the hook twice and just join it to this join where they're joining together, and that will prevent a really big gap from appearing in the border section. And then we immediately jump to the first empty double crochet or chain space, and we double crochet twice. Okay, so you see how that reached down in between, and so we continue to go all the way around the border. So whenever it's more than 180 you'll be doing that 5 double crochets, and when it's joining to a neighbor it's exactly what you just saw here. So you put in double crochet before, and then you put in your treble to attach it to the join, and then double crochet on the other empty doubles, and you just keep working your way all the way around. Please do that, and I'll see you back at the start, and I'll show you what to do for round number 2. When you get all the way back around, you're just going to finish it off, just the 2 double crochets into the last space before joining it to the top of the beginning chain 3 that is existing in the corner that was more than 180 degrees. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's move on to the next round, round number 2. There's only 4 rounds altogether for the remainder, or for the entire border that goes all the way around. This was probably the hardest for decision making, and the rest of it gets really simple from this point forward. With the next color, which is the darker color, which is peacock, and then it's not the navy yet. So what we want to do is that the only thing that we need to worry about on this round is that every stitch is going to get 1 single crochet, with the exception to any of the 5 double crochets that are in a corner. So the middle one of the 5 is gonna get 3 double crochets. Okay, so here's another 5 here, so the middle one is gonna get 3. So we're just gonna join to a middle one, okay, middle one of the 5, and we're going to join, chain 1, and I want you to put in 3 single crochets into that same stitch. So 1, 2, and 3, and then moving along you just have to put 1 single crochet into each. So even if you get down to the joining area, it's still only 1 single crochet into each. It's only when you hit the group of 5 the middle one has to have 3. So please do 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around, with the exception with the group of 5. Coming up all the way back around, and where we joined was in the beginning. If you remember, it was the middle of the 3 double crochets. So we're just going to just complete the other side of that and then just join it to the first single crochet that you started with. So that concludes that round. So we have 2 more rounds to go. Please weave this off and let's begin the next round. So this is what we have so far. We have the outside done. Okay, so this will be going all the way around. This is what it looks like so far in the joining spots, and going etc. all the way around. So let's begin. I'm going to start off and I'm going to join on navy, which is the next color in line. So if you see white, blue, peacock, navy, so we got white, blue, peacock, and navy is next. So that's what keeps it looking good, because the colors are looking consistent. Let's start off with the slip knot and let's begin the next round. So what we're going to do is just go to the middle one of any one where there's 3 single crochets. So we're just gonna go to the middle one. It doesn't matter which one you choose. It's all good. This round is really quick. It's really quite simple as well. So let's just want to grab my yarn strands, keep them all in balance. Let's just join. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to single crochet into the same stitch, and I'm going to follow that up by a chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and single crochet into the next. Skip 1 or chain 1, skip 1 stitch, go to the next. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and keep doing that all the way around. You don't have to do anything special for the corners at all. You just continue just to go and single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1. Please do that all the way around. Okay, coming up all the way back around, and I have 1 more round to go and your entire Afghan is then done, and we're going to be doing extended picots in the next round that create kind of like a snowflake kind of border edge. It's kind of really neat, to be honest with you, and I want to be able to get this done, and we're just gonna single crochet, or sorry, just slip stitch to the beginning single crochet that you started with. So just weave this off here, and what we're going to do in the next one is I'm gonna show you how to do the extended picots, and then your Afghan is complete. So let's do our final round, and we're bringing the white back. So the white is what finishes off this whole thing. So we're gonna come into any one of the chain 1 spaces. It doesn't matter, they're all getting the same thing. There's no adding or subtracting of stitches. It's all the same. So I'm gonna start off in the just after a corner, just because I can. It doesn't really matter. And we're going to join, and I want you to chain 1 first. So we're gonna do extended picots, kind of single crochet ideas here. So we're gonna chain 1, single crochet into the same one, and then I want you to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then go to the fourth stitch or chain, the starting one, and just yarn over and pull through and through, and then single crochet back into that same chain 1 space. Okay, that's what you have to do for every one of these chain 1 spaces. So let's go to do the next one. So let's start off with a single crochet, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, slip stitch to the starting one of the 4, and that creates a picot, and then single crochet into the same one. Do you see what it's doing there? It's neat. So let's go to the next one, single crochet, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then coming back in like so, and then single crochet again. So that's all you need to do. So there's no adding, subtracting. Every one is gonna get the same. It's gonna look amazing, and I guess when we come back around I'll have this done for you, and then you can just enjoy this Afghan from that point. So I'll continue to do that all the way around. So here's what it looks like on the main sample, just like so. I can see that I changed colors as well, is that I actually had white and then blue was my final. Again, that's kind of your creativity, that's up to you, but that's how I kind of finished this whole thing off, and I thought it was really quite amazing, and you can see that it really looks amazing. So I don't know what else to say, it's amazing. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me on working with this tutorial today.